morning to all you active KEHMD News listeners. I'm Erkin Fernandez reporting from a coronavirus bunker I built from a 13-year-old's abandoned playroom. It's Steve's fault, not mine. The reports you're about to see are not old scraps of footage we had saved because of HQ's need to outlive Fox, but KEHMD Daily News refurbished and Integrity News getting to you better and faster than the rest. Today we have the three government branches with their new apocalypse opinions, linkage institutions, sports, weather, and a rejuvenated celebrity come to consult the government on how to effectively run a country. Good afternoon. I am Erkin Fernandez, and I'm coming to you with breaking news. COVID-19 has affected and transformed all of us in our nation in one way or another. But is the Constitution not being upheld during this pandemic? Well, I can safely say that not only is it, but our rights are soon being guaranteed afterwards from the news delivered from this bunker. Is the government able to balance the sake of our health and our rights? Governors have been preventing our gathering on private or public property, preventing travel, privacy, and more. But this has been slowly evolving, changing as the Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines have slowly been implemented into government and CDC policy, especially. Are our fight for our rights absolute during a pandemic? Are our rights being surrendered for this emergency, or will it continue after? Under our Constitution, states possess power, police power. They regulate for health, safety, and the welfare of citizens. But does that come at an override? Well, as healthcare has become ongoing and reached out to help all who are 18 and older and are registered for the vaccine able to go and accept it, the cure for this deadly virus with over 500,000 deaths, did I believe that the government, while almost trespassing near the gray area of how far the greater good extends, has maintained its constitutionality in its acts, and fully maintains the goodwill that it deserves.
COVID-19 leading to lose coverage on health insurance. Other than the elderly, poor, and people with disabilities, the linkage of health insurance coverage to employment for most Americans is seen by many as an activism. Under current policies, this linkage of jobs to health insurance means that COVID-19 will cause millions to lose coverage. Although replacing the current system with government-managed health insurance would assure the continuity of coverage, such as as serious drawbacks, such as the need to massively restructure nearly 1/5 of the U.S. economy and to roughly double government spending and taxation. Unfortunately, continuity of health insurance coverage can be ensured for all Americans by modifying the funding for Medicaid so that all states find it attractive to extend coverage up to 138% of the federal poverty level. The Affordable Care Act marketplace subsidies should also be deepened and made more broadly available. These are only a couple of the things that are less disruptive and costly than a total overhaul.
Do you think the government should have taken a bigger role in controlling the spread of COVID?
I heard the government should have taken bigger steps in the spread of COVID so that it wouldn't have spread more and affect the economy and the citizens as it did initially.
Do you believe that the police should have stopped the protests even though they're being safe during the pandemic?
When writing bills of rights, had in mind to protect the rights of citizens of people who abuse their power. And the police should protect and not be proactive right now.
What would you have done differently?
I would enforce more safety and talk to professionals who know about the situation at hand to control the situation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dave. Now we had an interview with Dave Madison. How would you have responded differently from the president's response to the pandemic in the beginning of the year?
As a federalist, I think that the government should have taken more control of the situation than it did initially.
Do you think the government should have taken a bigger role in controlling the spread of COVID?
I think the government should have taken bigger steps to contain the spread of COVID so that the economy and the citizens won't be affected. Fuck, stuttering, bro. Damn it. Damn it.
It's okay to start.
According to the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, the recent high levels of acid rain formed from the nitrogen dioxide levels have decreased since the beginning of quarantine. They are now lower than they have ever been. This is because of the amount of people staying inside their homes and not contributing to the air pollution harming the earth. Thankfully, these dangerous levels have fallen and are now being controlled by experienced people.
God.
Thank you, Haley. Now, the confidence of Americans in both the Trump and Biden administrations have undergone severely low points with both presidential campaigns. From minimizing the COVID-19 virus to a flu, to Joe Biden's approval ratings happily moving below George W. Bush's accountant-funded lows. However, the true marking points are the celebrity endorsements chosen along the way. Like Donald Trump's endorsement from 20-year-old Miami rapper Lil Pump, introducing him at a campaign rally as Lil Pimp, beautifully endearing the silent audience in the background. The prolific offender defended his politics in supporting Trump, citing his reasons for voting for Trump, not wanting to pay $33,000 to Sleepy Joe, and creating the eloquently sung motto, Lil Pimp Big MAGA Steppin', on SoundCloud the next day. Joe Biden fared equally well in the golden years of his campaign, interviewing rapper sensation Cardi B on her thoughts. She mainly criticized Trump's taxes, with Medicare and college education being free, not wanting a big chunk of taxes to come out of our checks, and optimistically calling her generation addictively eager to make money, to look a type of way, to have style and celebrity gossip coursing through their minds always. Joe Biden slyly asked her multiple times after not listening to speak with her platform for him, to influence the 18 to 23-year-old market that he has yet to tap, proving the totally not motivated spontaneity of their conversation. No, Joe B is just a huge fan. To ask his daughter. The blatant youth marketing tried through Lil Pump and Cardi B shows the statistical and political implications of celebrity endorsements and advertising, manufacturing a near conveyor belt of disillusioned 18 to 23-year-olds that vote blindly for a politician that debatably knows who the celebrity is otherwise, that they're even getting the endorsement from. Biden's endorsement rings hollow here by blaming the COVID-19 virus on Trump's Medicare, but Trump's rings ever so more hollow, since Lil Pump, 50 Cent, Kid Rock, Lil Wayne only voted for him due to the profits that they would gain and the money that they would not lose, due to taxes and the Platinum Plan. They're shallow cascades of democracy aiming solely to cheaply market to a youth market with whines of COVID-19 struggle and free college instead of structuring a strong, healthy position for a candidate.
Hi, my name is Diego Davis. I'm reporting for KEHMD News. And we have a serious problem today in the world of sports. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, sports all around the world have been greatly affected. For example, the Los Angeles Lakers have lost about $52.7 million in potential fan revenue, and the New York Knicks have lost about $45 million. According to NBC News, the Lakers qualified for and received $4.6 million from the government Paycheck Protection Program. This was established to provide relief to small businesses suffering from COVID-19. The Lakers returned the money, but even with this loan, the Lakers are still in a huge decline. We must be able to get our fans back in the arenas if we want to support our teams, since we are in the main source of their income. If we don't have money to give our athletes, then who's going to play the sport? So we must find a solution and fast.
Now on to Donald Trump not taking COVID-19 seriously, leading to his loss in the 2020 election. Enough time has passed since that election that we can now ask, what effect did COVID-19 have on the election outcome? In this political cartoon, we can see President Trump at the time holding up a peace sign with the letter V for virus. This is displaying how Trump downplayed the risk of the virus, delaying rollout of testing and providing states limited information on the extent of the outbreak in February and early March, even though the first case reported was in October 2019, maybe even before that. Trump argued that shutting down the U.S. in an attempt to curb the coronavirus would cause more harm than good. He said the U.S. only initially shut down to prevent the overflow of hospitals and to allow U.S. health officials and scientists learn more about the new virus, including developing effective treatments to fight it. Because of this, though, the U.S. had both the highest number of cases and the most overall recorded deaths of any country in the world. This led U.S. citizens to favor Joe Biden more than Donald Trump in the 2020 election. Men rise from newly found vaccines. KEHMD Corbett, an African-American woman who is an immunologist at the U.S. National Institutes of Health, worked directly to develop and produce the Moderna vaccine. Dr. Corbett worked closely with Anthony Fauci to research and develop the first successful vaccine in the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Bulgarian biochemist Caitlin Carrico developed the Pfizer vaccine, and the trials in November revealed that the vaccine had a 95% chance of effectiveness, making the achievement of a lifetime in the 40 years of research on genetic code RNA. With the quick jab to nurses' left deltoid, America entered a new phase in its fight against the coronavirus on Monday. The injection to Sandra Lindsay's arm at Long Island Jewish Medical Center made her the first American to receive the coronavirus vaccine outside a clinical trial. The small dose of mRNA represented a giant leap in efforts to beat back the virus, a moonshot worth of hope amid a pandemic that has infected more than 60 million and killed more than 200,000 nationwide.